So today we are starting with the session on Constitution. As you are aware, Constitution is the first subject as per our syllabus. AIBE recommended syllabus. Constitution is the first subject and it carries a weightage of how many marks?
10 marks.
10 marks. Okay. So weightage is 10 marks. So it is very important. And from Constitution, you can expect 5 questions directly from barracks. Okay. Barrack you have to carry. So 5 questions they will be asking from barracks, and not all questions may be direct. Okay. There may be some questions related to amendments. For amendment related or something, such questions we'll discuss over the period about techniques, how to look barracks. Okay. How to refer barracks and for those things. So basically, the sessions will be more focused on the concepts, important concepts, understand the fundamentals of the subject. Once you understand the fundamentals of the subject, once you have interest in the subjects, you can read your regular textbook so that it will be interesting and it will be easier for you to understand the subject. Second thing, Bare Act is purely techniques. Only thing is you should spend some time with every Bare Act book, go through that Bare Acts for a few times, go through all index. So you will know how to use Bare Acts, and we'll be solving some 1 or 2 previous year question papers. So at that time also, we'll try to refer Bare Acts. Okay. So that you will understand how to look, how to search for Bare Acts for those particular section or for particular clause, article, whatever it is, depending on the subject. Okay. So that is very important. Basically, Constitution, you will have around 5, approximately 5 directly from Bare Acts you can answer. Another 2 to 3 will be case laws. Another 2 to 3 may be some conceptual related. Of course, they are related to Bare Act, but there is nowhere reference to Bare Act. Okay. And even administrative law and PIL, those things are also little bit related to Constitution only. Okay, writs, all those things, what we pill and writs, whatever we file. So it is all related to Constitution, part of Constitution only. So those questions are also administrative law. Also, most of them are subject, not related to Bare Acts. Okay, so case laws will be there, and conceptual, concept-based questions will be asked from those subjects. More questions from Bare Act is directly you get from IPC or BNS. I prefer old names. You can relate it to the new names or old names, whatever it is, accordingly. IPC, CRPC, and evidence. Most of these and plus CPC. So these subjects will carry weightage of 36 marks. Out of these 36, at least 30 marks are from Bare Acts. So another 5 from the Constitution. So 35 marks you can score directly from Bare Acts only if you know the technique how to look for those sections in the Bare Acts. Okay. Apart from that one, there will be some questions from company law, income tax, contract act, arbitration act, and there are a couple of other acts. So those things, another 10 to 12 marks will be from Bare Acts only. So if you properly answer from Bare Acts only, you can answer up to 45 marks straight away, 45 to 50 sometimes. And another case laws, all those things, and concept questions, you can go through them and accordingly you can answer. Okay, so passing is not difficult if you know the technique properly. But if the question somewhere, if instead of 45 you get only 35 from the Bare Act, then you are gone. So you have to prepare for that eventuality. That's what I was telling, that you should never target for 45 or passing AIBE. So target for 90%, 80%, then comfortably, even the question paper is difficult, you can pass comfortably more than 60% marks you can score. Okay, so coming to the subject, we are talking about the Constitution. So we will understand what is Constitution, why it is necessary. Okay. So if you understand what is Constitution, why it is necessary, it will become interesting for you to go through the subject. So first, at least complete the subject, your LLB books of there will be Constitution Law 1 and 2 will be there. So you take 4 to 5 days to complete. So we will finish Constitution in next 10 days. So within these 10 days, I request everyone to go through Constitution textbooks, at least part 1, part 2, you go once, twice is also good. You underline the important topics, whichever you feel it is important, you underline, make notes of those things. So that next time you need not read the textbook. You can read that 20-25 pages notes, which you feel they are important. Okay, I will also, over the period, I'll explain when we are revising the question papers, all those things. I'll tell you what are the important topics in constitution, what are the important topics in other subjects as well. So here you have to keep noting down in the notes so that it will be easy. So all the subjects together, 25 subjects together, if you make notes, it will be around 200-250 pages. So it will be easier for you on the last day just to go through the notes. You need not refer all the textbooks. You can carry Bayrax. You already know how to refer Bayrax. By the time you go for the examination, you will be very perfect because you will be solving around 10 to 12 question papers from the books I recommended. And we will also do some questions. So you will have practice how to refer to the Bayrax. So it will be very easy for you to refer to the Bayrax, and you are already reasonably good in concept. So you can comfortably score 70 to 80%. And if you do a little bit extra, if you put little bit extra effort, you can score around 85 to 90% also. So that should be your target. Don't aim for small, aim for sky, so that you will achieve better than a lot of other people. See, you are not going to lose anything. You will gain knowledge by reading. Constitution is such an important subject. You can relate it to almost every act. Like, see, if you are doing criminal practice, you can relate it to quash petitions, writ petitions, other lot of writs are there. Okay. If you are practicing civil, property related, fundamental right related, those related, religious related things also are from constitution only. If you are practicing administrative law, tax laws also are related to the constitution only, because all rights are given from the constitution only. Whatever rights government get, how to impose taxes, how to rule the people of the country, all those things are from the Constitution of India only. So no government can go beyond constitution. So if you are having constitution idea, even any law, government, whatever law they frame, it should be in it cannot go beyond Constitution of India. Okay. So let us start. The Constitution of India isn't just a political document. It is a rule book that says how and who will run the country or government structure. Okay. Who will run the country, how they will run the country. So Constitution will define the rules, laws, and all those things. So everything should be in conformity of the Constitution. Okay.
Okay, sir.
What they can and cannot do, I mean government. So their powers and limitations are in the limits of the Constitution only. What the people are entitled to, people freedom, rights, and the protection, what they get, Constitution gives protection to people along with the rights and the freedom. It protects the people. Okay, if some rights are if you are arrested, whatever it is there, you can go to the court. Judiciary is independent body as per Constitution of India. Okay, and there are duties and responsibilities also. Fundamental duties are also defined in the Constitution. Okay, of every citizen. Okay, so let us understand law is an instrument which regulates human behavior and ensures peace
Sir,
and security.
can you repeat again, sir?
Which one?
This is the one, sir. First one.
First slide, previous slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here what I am to say, Constitution is the rule book. It says who will run the country, how they will run the country. So who will run the country? Government will run the country, and it also says how government should run the country. Okay, we will understand those things once we go into the next parts of the Constitution, like Parliament, President, Prime Minister. Those people who are the cabinet, these are the people who run the government, right?
Yes.
So how they run, once we go into that, we will understand those things. Okay,
sir. Okay.
So what they can and cannot do, what government can do, or what Parliament can do, what judiciary can do, what executive can do, and what they cannot do, all those things are also in the Constitution of India.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
What the people are entitled to. We are having fundamental rights. Okay, there is protection in the fundamental rights. All those things are also explained in the Constitution of India. Then fundamental duties, what are the responsibilities of the people of country, also explained in the Constitution of India. Okay, then it is, let us come to next level. Okay, that is basically about the Constitution, what Constitution does. It is there, it is same thing for all country constitutions. Okay, law is an instrument which regulates human behavior and ensures peace and security in the society. So every law responsibility is to see to that there is a peace, security and discipline in the society. That is the purpose of any law. Same time, Constitution is a similar law, but it regulates the affairs between individual and the state. See, Constitution regulates affairs. So individuals and state, it regulates state what should do, individual what should do. I mean, individual is in the sense that the people in the country, citizens of the country. State in the sense that government. Government includes judiciary, legislative and executive, legislature and judiciary. So what they can do, what are the relation between the public and them, how people can approach them, what they can do to the people, all those things are regulated. Okay. It lays down the various provisions relating to distribution of powers between three organs of the government. So what are the powers of the executive, what are the powers of legislature, what are the powers of the judiciary, so what are the powers of union government, what are the powers of state government. So all those things are mentioned in this Constitution. It lays down the various provision, how powers are distributed among all the organs and between state and center also. Okay, so nobody can use power which they don't have. State government cannot say that that some, let us say Telangana is there. Telangana people cannot go and say Bidar belongs to Telangana. Okay, they cannot take over Bidar. So that is division of power. State government is not having that power. Central government can pass a legislation in parliament and they can give Bidar to Telangana if they want. Okay, so those provisions are with the central. So those division is very clearly mentioned in the Constitution. It is the document containing the fundamental principles, rules, determine and regulate between government and the people. So another important thing here, you can see the last two lines are very important. You may expect some questions from these things. What is municipal law also they may ask. What is law of land also they may ask. Okay, so Constitution is also called municipal law in some places, law of land also in some places. Okay, it is also called fundamental law of the land also. So just remember these three things. Constitution is fundamental law of the land. Constitution is municipal law. Constitution is law of land. So what is law of land? You can straight away, if it is in multiple choice, this is concept based question what I am asking, explaining. So if somebody says what is municipal law or what are the other names of Constitution, so they may ask municipal law, XYZ, XYZ, whatever it is. So you should, if you know the concept, you have to answer this. You can answer this question. Okay, it is called municipal law. It is also called, please Nagaraj, don't scribble on the screen. Okay, it is called law of land. So Constitution is a supreme law. Every rule, law, regulation, government action, and even judicial interpretation must conform to it. So everything, whatever you do, whatever action you take, it should be in conformity of the Constitution. You cannot go beyond Constitution. If you go do any legislation, if you act anything which is beyond power given to you from the Constitution, it is void ab initio. It will become invalid. Okay, when a law, whether freshly passed or a century old, doesn't conform to the Constitution, it becomes invalid to the extent of the inconsistency. So I'll talk about this later. Okay, when we are talking about other articles of the Constitution, like doctrine of eclipse, colorable legislation, doctrine of waiver. So there are certain doctrines. So those doctrines apply here. So any law which is not inconsistent with the constitution, then it will become invalid. There are sometimes instances, there are laws which are before constitution came into existence, that is before 1950. So those laws are also, if they are not in consistency with conformity with the constitution, they are invalid from the day constitution became applicable. Okay, so those things we will understand once we go to that particular section or whenever we come across such instance. So we will go to the meaning of the constitution, why it is necessary for India to have a separate constitution. So because constitution is written constitution is there and unwritten constitution is also there. So India, we have followed a written constitution only. So making of the constitution is why it has become necessary, from where it became necessary for the people of India or the leaders of our country to decide that we require a separate constitution. Okay. So before 1857, East India Company was running the country. Okay. Before 1857, East India Company was running the company. All there will be, it was having its own army. They were collecting the taxes. There was a judiciary also. They were having a policy, separate policy also. So they were under control from British Crown and British Parliament, and they were also in in friendly relationship with some princely states. Through them, they were doing all these activities. So it was a private company. It is a limited company like Reliance, Adani, whatever company you take. East India Company was such company. 3/4 of the country was run by them. Okay, they were collecting the taxes, they were making the foreign policies. So anybody who want to sell any product beyond India, they had to go through East India Company only. So East India Company was government for country. You can imagine. So then there was Sipai Mutiny. So after that, British Crown directly took over from East India Company. East India Company rule came to end in 1857. So from 1858 to 1947, British Crown was running the country like a colony, separate vessel or colony. So every law came from London. Viceroy, see, there were some small constituents, assembly sort of things. Okay, but so local governance, self-governance, local bodies, small selective nominated bodies were also there. But they were having very limited powers. So no revenue collection power was there, no military power was there to them. So they were just doing activities directed by Viceroy or the British Parliament. Based on those things only, they were ruling. So a lot of other acts were passed, how to run the country over the period. So British passed multiple acts, India Act, whatever it is there. So those things from 1958 to 1947, many acts were passed. Okay. So then in 1928, there was a commission, Simon Commission was there. So they want to rewrite how to rule the country. But in the Simon Commission, none were Indians. So Indians opposed that Simon Commission, and all parties together, they have come together and they thought we should have our own laws. Why British should decide what laws we should have. So they boycotted Simon Commission and they decided that they will plan for a constitution. And Nehru report, here it is not Jawaharlal Nehru, Motilal Nehru was asked to prepare a report for why we should require a separate constitution. Because India, unlike any other country, we are diversified people. Okay, we were having different languages, different sex, by subsex, caste systems. So rich, poor, middle class people, lot of diversity was there in India. So they felt that to meet all those requirements, there should be a separate constitution which will suit to our country's needs, not British constitution, because none of the committee members in Simon Committee or other committees, whatever their Ravala tax, sedition laws, all those things were all designed by Britishers to impose them on India. Some acts were not even followed in England, but they were imposing them on India. So to overcome all those things, India felt that there is a need for our own laws. So first such report was given by Nehru report in 1928, and it was all on the request of all parties in India at that time who were fighting for freedom. Muslim League, Congress Party, a lot of small parties were there, regional, who were fighting for freedom in the regions. All parties came together boycotting Simon, and they decided that they should have separate law. So Nehru report was given in 1928, and it has become one of the basic document, some direction for the people in 1947 after independence. Based on this direction only, our constitution is prepared. That is the reason I am taking this topic. Okay, based on the direction given in the Nehru report, which is based on say 1928 report, constitution is prepared. Okay, 1 minute, just hold on.
Sir, you are mute, sir.
Sorry, I'm getting calls. So I'm posting it in the group also. I've shared. If anybody are unable to join, few people say that they are unable to join. Okay. So for their benefit, I just start. So it is YouTube live streaming is started. They can join in the YouTube. I'll post it in the group. Okay. 1 minute. Just give me some time.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I have shared that link in the group also. So they can directly join on the YouTube live, so that I started streaming on YouTube also. Okay. So if anybody are unable to join here, they can join YouTube streaming. So, why we thought of having a separate constitution and a written constitution also? The committee report, what I mean, Nehru committee report says self-governance aspirations. We were having self-governance aspirations in 1928. We didn't get that independence. Okay, clarity and certainty in governance, how to rule. We required clarity. So Britishers, there was no clarity, there was no constitution. So they were doing whatever they want arbitrarily. So same thing, end of arbitrary colonial rule also. Same thing, they are taking their decisions the way it is advantage to them. They were not always doing justice. So today, if it is good for them, they are doing. If it is bad for them, tomorrow they are doing different thing. Okay. So same time, there were no fundamental rights. There was no freedom. So there was no freedom of speech, freedom of property. All those things were never given as a right. Okay. So to protection of fundamental rights is also one of the point they have raised in that doctrine, I mean report. and equality among provinces and communities. This is very important. There were so many provinces, princely states, all those things. So India in 1998 never thought that all princely states will join the country. So there were a lot of provinces. So they don't know how the country will be divided, how it will be formed. But there will be different communities, different castes, different sexes, different rich people, poor people. So here itself in 1928, they made this point very clear that there should be equality among provinces and communities also. Okay, then there it is some international inspiration was also there in that report. Based on that, report is prepared. Okay, and then in 1946, British told that they are going to give freedom to India. So Constituent Assembly was formed under the Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. Constituent Assembly is, there were a lot of, as I told, local bodies and local assemblies, local governing in local states or provinces. So each such province, princely state, they have sent one representatives. So there were 389 members from all those princely states, local provinces, all those places. Total 389 members represented the Constituent Assembly. Each place one person was representing. Okay. After partition, since Pakistan is separated, all the representatives from that part of the partition, whatever princely states or whatever the provinces in the Pakistan area and Bangladesh area, so they were around 90. They have left as that one. So after partition, the members were 299. So this representation from provinces, princely states, and all communities also. Only a single objective, to frame the supreme law of independent India, that is Constitution of India. Their objective was very clear. So they have come together as a representative from all provinces, princely states, and other communities also to frame Constitution of India. So that the reason they have chosen everyone, so that it will be balanced. It will be equality will be there for everyone. So every part of the country will have a voice contribution in the preparation of the Constitution. It is not decided by one single person. So it is voice of all people all over the country. Representatives of those people came together, formed a Constituent Assembly, and they are all intellectuals. Okay, so they have come together and they started working on preparation of the Constitution, how it should be, all those things, the guidelines, framework they have given. Okay. The Constituent Assembly was headed by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who went on to become the President of India. So he was President from 1946 till the adoption of the Constitution in 1950. The first meeting, all those things are formalities. So B.N. Rao was the constitutional advisor. He did a heavy drafting groundwork before it went to the drafting committee. Drafting committee was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So Constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. So they may ask this question also. Remember this thing. The Constitution came into force on 26 November 1950. The Constituent Assembly dissolved itself. Okay. On 26 January 1950, the Constituent Assembly dissolved itself because the duty of the Constituent Assembly when it is formed was to draft only Constitution. But Constitution came into existence, but there was no government in the country. There were no elections were conducted. Elections are to be conducted based on the Constitution only. So Constitution came into existence newly. So it will take some time for the formation of election commission, conducting elections, all those things. So for that gap of 1 year or 1.5 years, the Constitution Assembly is itself converted into parliament. It is more like a joint parliament. Joint parliament like Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha coming together. So for that 1.5 year, they were taking the all calls, conducting the elections, all those things were taken care by this provisional parliament for that gap period of 1.5 year, whatever it is the period, till the elections are conducted in first general elections in 1952. So the drafting committee chairman was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He was appointed on 29th August 1947 after we got independence on 15th August. That is day after tomorrow is our Independence Day. So on 15th August, we got independence 1946. 1957, 29th August, that is around 14 days after that, India already, they were background work was done since 1946. Once we got the independence, the drafting committee was formed and the chairman, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, was appointed. Okay, apart from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, there were 7 members tasked with converting the objectives into legal provisions. See, the objectives were given by Constituent Assembly, and also some direction is given in 1928 report. That is the reason I was referring to 1928 report. 1928 report came because they were opposing Simon Commission, Rowlatt Commission, all those things. They were against those things. So the 1928 report gave some direction how the constitution should be, and Constituent Assembly followed those report. Based on that one, they have given some directions and objectives of converting those things into legal provisions. They wanted to make it a strong, legally binding. So that role is given to the drafting committee. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman. Other members were N. Gopalswamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Saudullah, B.L. Mittal. He resigned and replaced by N. Madhav Rao, and D.P. Kaitan. He was replaced by T.T. Krishnamacharya after his death. Okay, so the members, there were 7 members, 2 members changed, one due to ill health and one is due to death. So there were 7 new people, Mr. Madhav Rao and T.T. Krishnamacharya, they joined later to that drafting committee. Okay. So why I'm telling that? Because you should understand how constitution came into existence, so that you will relate those things with the provisions. Why fundamental rights were necessary, why fundamental duties were necessary, why president role is necessary, why parliament, all those things, unless you understand, because though they were arbitrary earlier, since they were arbitrary rule in British control, so we wanted something concrete. Until unless it is written, until unless it is solid, we cannot follow it. So if it is not written, then they can amend as they like. So they made provisions how to amend the constitution also. Okay, I'll come to that later. So constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. The salient features are, it is written and a very lengthy document. Okay, you know how many sections, all those things in the constitution? So there were, I had to check it and tell you. So Constitution, there is 395, I think. 1 minute. I'll just give exact figure. I don't want to give a wrong figure. So I'll check and give.
Sir, 395 articles.
Yeah, 395 articles are there. Okay. So thank you. So there were more than 115 amendments, 120 amendments over the last 75 years. So it is blend of rigidity and flexibility. Constitution is rigid in some extent and flexibility in the sense that based on the time, based on the changes in the civilization, based on the improvement in the thoughts, technologies, all those things, keeping those things in mind, Constitution can be amended, changed to suit the requirements of the current generation. That way it is flexible. Same time it is rigid, so that there are certain provisions which they are not allowed to change. Like fundamental rights, they cannot change it so easily. Okay, basic structure of the constitution, they can never change it. Okay, so there are certain things which are very rigid, which protects the country, which protects the rights of the citizens. Same time, to support the growth of the country, support the latest technologies, latest developments, they should keep it flexible. They cannot keep it rigid, so that it will hamper the growth. So they made it flexible, allowing it to make amendments based on the requirements and changing in the situations. Okay, the same situation what it was in 1947 is not the same thing in 2025, right? So they keep on evolving over the period. Constitution is also evolving. They are making amendments based on the requirements and based on the learnings, based on the problems they are facing over the period. They may not see, everything cannot be foreseen, right? So there are certain aspects which they haven't foreseen in 1947, which they have come into existence. They saw that problem in 1970, 1980, 1990. Accordingly, they have changed the provisions. Okay. Then independent judiciary and judicial review, that is very important. Judiciary is independent, so judicial review is any legislation passed by the parliament, judicial review is there. So if it is beyond any provision of the constitution, then judiciary will stop that. Okay. Adult suffrage. Adult suffrage is voting. Let us say simple, every adult in the country, irrespective of caste, irrespective of their creed, okay, irrespective of their creed, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their money, anybody, age, sex, handicap, non-handicap, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, there is no discrimination. Anyone who is above 18 years as of now, they are given right to vote. They are given right to elect their own representative. So majority of the people above 18 years can elect their own representative. Okay, so that is advantage. That is because before independence there was voting system was there, but it was given to few people. So Muslims could vote for Muslim people only, Hindus could vote for Hindus people only forward caste people were given votes. Some SC, STs were restricted from voting. So there were a lot of restrictions, some provisional, princely state, there was no elections itself, it was monarchy. So there were a lot of disturbances, lot of inconsistencies. So to make it consistent, every single individual who is above 18 years in India, they were having right to vote. Okay, no discrimination in that particular thing. Then another important thing is, see, these are conceptual questions. Adult suffrage and single citizenship also. Single citizenship also, you can expect a question. See, single citizenship and dual citizenship means in America, there is United States of America, then there is a state, let us say California. So every individual will have two citizenships. He will be citizen of California, he will be citizen of United States of America. Similarly, in India, I am from Telangana, so I don't have any separate citizenship for Telangana and separate citizenship for India. So I'll be citizen of only India. So that is single citizenship. We are having only single citizenship and no state citizenship is given. So anyone in India, they will get only single citizenship irrespective which state you belong, which federal place you belong. There is no separate citizenship for state-wise. So every place, any place you can travel, any place you can visit, you can buy property, whatever you want to do. India is one country. So citizenship is single only. Then another thing India constitution gives is fundamental rights, directive principles, fundamental duties. These are the unique concepts of Indian constitution. No other constitution gives these things. So Indian constitution, they explicitly mention rights of citizens of India. So another important thing, fundamental rights are given only to citizens of India, not all the residents of India. Anybody who comes to the India, they will not enjoy fundamental rights. They may ask this question also. Keep in mind, fundamental rights are only available to citizens of India. Okay. So right to freedom, all those things are there, but these things, they cannot, these are given by the Constitution of India. So basic structure of Indian Constitution, I'll come to this later. Okay. We'll go to this preamble, then go to basic structure.
Sir, for Jammu and Kashmir, there will be dual citizenship.
Huh? I couldn't get you.
In Jammu and Kashmir, people having a dual citizenship.
No, they were giving Indian passport only. They were not having dual citizenship. There is dual constitution earlier. Okay. So Jammu and Kashmir, they were having separate flag. They were having separate constitution. Okay. But they were not having separate passports. No passport for Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. They were carrying Indian passports only. Okay. Okay. Citizenship was from India only. Okay. So now we are coming to the introduction. Preamble means the introduction to the statute. So constitution is one of the law, that is statute. So preamble is the first thing. It is the introduction. What ideals and goals, what is the thing the Constituent Assembly or the legislature who passed this Constitution of India, they were intending to achieve from the Constitution. What they want to give to the people, what they want it to look like, is the preamble. Okay, and the preamble, you have to be, see, preamble, it is there in the Bare Act also. You can carry this one. The question they will ask from the question, one question from preamble also. It's very simple. You just open that, just go through it carefully. You will see justice, where is equality mentioned, where is liberty is mentioned, what are there in the liberty. They can ask some whatever question they want. Okay, so they may jumble the line sign. They may ask which is the correct way it is mentioned, something like that. Okay, so they can ask any question. Just open the first page of the Bare Act. You can see this preamble. Just see whichever is correct answer. You can choose that one. So, but to understand, I'll explain. Okay, preamble means the introduction of the statute. It contains ideals and goals which the legislature is intending to achieve. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, faith, worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. Okay, so they will ask which order. Last time I remember they asked question which order this is given: justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, liberty, justice, equality, fraternity, liberty, justice. So they asked this question: what is the order of the things? Okay, so or what are the mentioned in the justice? So they can ask any such questions. Just open the Bare Act. You can do this. So this constitution actually it is passed in Constitution Assembly on the 26th November 1949, but it came into existence on 26th January. After 2 months only it has come. In December, January, after 2 months it became effective, but it is passed on 26th day of number 1949. So if you get a question, don't be in a hurry to tick 26th January 1950. When was Constitution enacted? Okay. When was Constitution enacted? Constitution was enacted on 26 November 1949. Okay, enacted, passed in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, it became effective from 26 January. Okay, so this is small confusion. They may ask in a hurry, you may write 26 January 1950. You think that you wrote it correct. But you should be very careful. Don't worry. You open the Bare Act and read. Everywhere in every act, such thing will be there. When this act is enacted and when this act will come implemented. So those two things will be mentioned in almost every act. Okay. So don't be in a hurry. Even on the page itself, say, let us say, CPC 1908, it will be there. So you know that CPC 1908, but it may have been passed in 1907 itself, the civil procedure. Okay. So which date, everything will be there in the act. You can open the first page, you will see there. So don't be in a hurry to write answers. These questions are from Bare Act. A lot of people think that these are not from Bare Act. It is from Bare Act only. It will be in the first page itself. Okay. So these are the things. It is because we, the people of India, because it is Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly is nothing but representative of all areas of the people. They have sent representatives to the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly is like mini India. All representatives were there and they have come together. So they told, we, the people of India, we have resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Socialist and secular were added later with an amendment. We'll come to that later. Okay. Earlier it was sovereign, democratic republic. Socialist and secular were added through a amendment. Okay. I'll tell you the amendment. I'll open the Bare Act and when it is amended, I'll just check and tell you.
42, sir.
42, na? Very good. Smart people ready with Bare Acts. Okay, good. It is helping me, right? I am very poor in remembering the numbers, actually. Yeah, 42nd Amendment, 1976. Okay. So these two things were added. Okay. Now we'll go to basic structure of the constitution. Okay. I think we should have made it earlier. Okay. Nothing, no problem. Okay. The basic structure of the Indian constitution is not something explicitly written in the constitution itself. Nowhere it is written. This is the basic structure of the constitution. Okay. It is the judicial doctrine evolved by the Supreme Court. It is a judicial doctrine. Remember these things. Okay. Because India, we are having a independent judiciary. So Supreme Court told that it is evolved from the judgments of Supreme Court. This particular word, basic structure, was evolved from the judgments of the Supreme Court because of various legislations passed by the parliament. So if any such legislation which was against the basic structure of the constitution, where in the constitution it is not defined, so if it is against the Supreme Court will timeline period, it will say which is basic structure, because it is not defined. They can add anything and they can remove anything. So there is no straight jacket for those things. But most of the things I'll talk in the next slide. So it is the judicial doctrine evolved by the Supreme Court to ensure the parliament cannot amend or destroy the constitution's fundamental identity. So there is some fundamental identity to the Indian constitution. That is the basic structure. So Supreme Court made it very clear. Parliament cannot enact any or amend anything which will destroy the fundamentality of the constitution. Okay. So it is the safety law. The judiciary put on the constitution to stop any government from pulling out of its core pillar. So out of pillar, the structure, basic structure, they cannot do some jugaad and come out with new law. So the basic structure, it started very seriously from the case one and the Bharti case. We'll discuss about this case. It is very important. They asked this question at least out of 15, 20 exams, at least 10 times they might have asked about this case one and the Bharti versus state of Kerala. This is the case where first basic structure of the constitution evolved. Okay. Parliament can amend any part of the constitution under Article 368, but it cannot alter the basic structure or essential features of the constitution. This is the thing the judgment gave. It is the biggest bench, constitution bench in the parliament, in the Supreme Court. So till date, that is the biggest bench. So Keshavan Bharti and state versus state of Kerala in 1973. So constitution, same times when it is rigid, I told it is flexible also. Under Article 368, Parliament is having power to amend any part of the constitution. But same time, Parliament cannot pass anything which is against the basic structure of the constitution. Okay. So what is basic structure of the constitution? We are all confused. Okay. So we should not question the supremacy of constitution. Parliament will never become supreme over the constitution. Okay. That is the basic structure. So now president cannot become bigger than constitution. Constitution is bigger than anything in the country. Parliament cannot become bigger than constitution. No law in India can become bigger than constitution. So supremacy of the constitution. Constitution is supreme. So anything should be in compliance of the constitution only. The government should run in compliance of the constitution. New laws, old laws, whatever it is, it should be in compliance of the constitution only. Okay, same time, any amendment should not disturb sovereign, democratic and republican form of government. So you cannot bring dictatorship, you cannot bring monarchy in the country, you cannot say I am surrendering some states of India to some other country. Okay, so those things you cannot do. Then secularism, country as a India government should not have any caste, creed. They cannot follow anything. So it should be secular, it should be neutral to any caste. So all castes should be treated equally in the country. Separation of powers between legislature, executive and judiciary. So legislature cannot say that we are abolishing judiciary, we are abolishing executive, or executive cannot say that I am abolishing legislature. It happened sometimes. Okay, legislature is abolished by executive, that is the president rule is imposed on some states. So there are certain exceptions are there. Then emergency was also proclaimed earlier. There are so exceptions are there, of course. So there is very clear legislature, executive, judiciary, they should play very clear. So, but any given time, judiciary was independent even during emergency time also. So that is the strength of India. India survived 75 years or 80 years of independence just because we are having independent judiciary, whereas other country, neighboring country who got independence along with us, so they were struggling, they were not having, even though they had similar constitution and the Constituent Assembly was part of Indian Constituent Assembly till 1947. Same people went there, they wanted similar government except about religion, all other things were given similar things, but they couldn't maintain that rigidity because judiciary was not independent. Okay, people were taking control of these things. So that is the issue. India, any given time, judiciary was independent. Rule of law. So law is above everything. Law should be implemented. Individuals are second to law only. It will be equal to everyone. So law is same to me. Law is same to the Prime Minister of India. Law is same to the Ambani, Adani, whoever he may be. Law is law. It is same to everyone. So as per law only, everything should be implemented. If he commits wrong, he will be punished. If I am committing the wrong, I will be punished. You cannot say that he will be exempted because he is a very rich person. No. He is a high caste person. No. He is low caste person. No. Law is same for everyone. Rule of law prevails over everything. So judicial review, what I told, power of the courts to strike down unconstitutional acts, and there is very powerful review is there. Federalism, state government is separate, then central government is separate. Suddenly it cannot say it will be presidential form of government. All those things, it will be very difficult. That is the foundation of that's what I'm told, basic structure of India. So they cannot say now we are abolishing all the states. It will be presidential form. There will be only presidents, no states in the country. They cannot do that. So it is a federal form of government. There will be states, there will be center, states will be ruled. State is having separate powers. Powers are given in the schedules. The state central government powers are given. All those things are very clearly written in schedules and the constitution of the India. Okay. Then parliamentary form of government, fundamental rights are given. So fundamental rights cannot be disturbed. Harmony between fundamental rights and directive principles, unity and integrity of the nation is never compromised. So these are the main elements of the basic structure. It can become bigger, smaller, based Supreme Court is having rights. Okay. So those things you cannot disturb. You cannot make any amendments in the parliament which is disturbing this basic structure. So basic structure is flexible, but these are the main things which are taken based on the judgments. Nowhere it is mentioned in parliament or in constitution or anywhere. These are the basic structure. Because of over the judgments based on these specific acts, we have made a list of some things where we define these are the basic structure. That's what, not an exhaustive list. These have been identified over many judgments. So a lot of judgments were given. Based on those judgments, we have identified basic structure of the constitution. So any parliament cannot go which will disturb the basic structure of the constitution. No amendment is valid. Okay. So now we'll just do two parts. They are not so important, but just for one or two questions will be asked. Okay. So section 1, it will be asked that what is the name and territory of the union. Okay. So you can just go through the BEAR Act. It is part 1, section 1. So it is called so and so. I'll just open the BEAR Act and read it for you. So they will ask this question also. What does India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states? This will be a question. They will ask a question. I mean, you can expect a question. There were questions on this particular thing earlier also. India, that is Bharat. Okay, Bharat, that is India. They may ask whatever it is. So what section says India, Bharat, whatever is, they can ask. Okay, so they have defined in this particular article 1 about name and territory of the union. Okay. Then the states and the territories thereof shall be specified in the first schedule. There is a first schedule. What are the states? All those things are specified there. The territory of India shall comprise the territories of all the states. The union territory specified in the first schedule. Such other territories as may be acquired over the period, like Arunachal Pradesh was not part of India. It became part of India later. It was ruled by a king. So he want to join India. Like Bhutan is ruled by a king. They are friendly with India. So India, Bhutan foreign policy is taken care by India. So Arunachal Pradesh foreign policy was also taken care by India earlier. So China, this is the reason they dispute Arunachal Pradesh, because they joined India, I think 1970, 1980, sometime in that period, Arunachal Pradesh is joined in India. Okay. So new states can join. Let us say Bhutan can join. If India wants, Sri Lanka can join in India. So that is the provisions, but India cannot leave any other territory. So admission section, Article 2 says admission or establishment of new states. So new states can be formed based on the Article 2. So like Telangana is formed by the powers given in the Article 2. Sikkim is also associated with the Union. Sikkim is with the Union in 1975. Okay, Sikkim is so to be associated with the Union. Sikkim was also not part. So in 1975, it has become part of India in 1975. Then Article 3 says formation of new states and alteration of areas. Any alteration boundaries between the states based on the Article 3 they can do. Parliament is having powers to do that. Okay, so Article 4 is about laws made under Article 2 or 3 are provided and amendment in the first and fourth schedule of the Constitution. It is supplemental. Okay, this is Article 1 to 4. You can go through the bare acts. Just it will be no concept questions are asked. It is purely based act. So if you see, when I'll show you the bare act also. So index is very important. There are certain parts, so you have to remember those parts. Accordingly, it will be easy for you to remember part 1, part 2, part 3, what are there in the part, so that immediately you can go fundamental rights. You can straight away go to part 3. So if they ask about directive principles, it is part 4. So just go to part 4, directive principles. You can search in that specific area only. So you can fundamental right, those up to directive principles also you can remember easily, because it is very clear. Beyond directive principle, then it is union, all those things will come. So it will be very easy. Just 2-3 times if you go through that order, you can remember. So what will come after which? So it will be easy for you to refer the bare acts. So bare acts should be referred. First go to index, then go to article. Don't go keep on searching pages. Search from index only. Okay. So once you understand concept, you will know which part of the question it is. I mean, whether it is belong to the union, or whether it belongs to the state, or whether it belongs to directive principles, or whether it belongs to fundamental rights. So you can go to that specific part. So just search for those 4-5 articles. Accordingly, you can answer those things. Then citizenship. Citizenship is from Article 5 to 11. Okay. Then Article 5 to 11 is citizenship. How citizen is the person who enjoys full civil and political rights. This is another important thing. Only citizen can enjoy full civil and political rights. Then India is for single citizenship. So how to acquire citizenship is given. So citizenship by birth, citizenship by parents born, all those things are given between Article 5 and 11. So you can just go through those articles, bare acts. Just it will be asked only from the bare act, these particular questions. Okay, so just go through the bare act. I don't want to waste your time by explaining, reading just bare acts. Okay, if you are having any specific doubt, you can put them in the comments, or you can put me in my WhatsApp. Next session we can ask anything till this subject up to Article 11, and the session what we have gone through. You can ask questions. I'll share this PDF of the presentation in the group also. Okay, so I'll try to share. Okay, and this is the Constitution of India, soft copy, bare act. So this is the index. Okay, so you should be very comfortable. I shared that index. I'll also share you that one page index also separately. I'll see if I'm having. I think I'll be having that. I'll. Minute, huh? Yeah, I'll share this instead of that one. It will be better. So these are the articles. So there are 22 parts and 395 articles. There are 12 schedules. So preamble is the introduction. So union and territories is part 1. Just it is very easy. I'll share this page. So you can just over the period, once you are going through this, just single page itself, you will understand the order, how the constitution is structured. Okay. So the union and its territories, then comes to citizenship. Part 3 is fundamental rights. Part 4 is directive principles of state policy. 4A is fundamental duties. Part 5 is union. Part 6 is the state. See here, you can, there is some similarity. It is very easy where you can, Article 52 starts from union. Article 152 starts from the state. Okay. So, say, let us say president is given, I will just go through the bare act where president starts. The president of India is Article 52. Okay. So 153 is governor of states. So after 101. So powers of the states, power of the union. So 101. So almost 100, 101 between 90 to 110. You can find state and union relations. I mean articles. Then after union, it comes states, then union territories. It is in the order. You remember, this is simple thing. First is preamble, union and territories, citizenship is about acquiring, those things are basic things. Then the serious thing starts from part 3, that is fundamental rights. Part 4 is directive principles. Part 4A is fundamental duties. Part 5 is union. Part 6 is the state. Part 7 is removed actually. So 7, it is removed. I didn't mention here. Part 7 is removed. So part 8 is union territories. Part 9 is the panchayats. Part 9A is municipalities. Part 9B is cooperative societies. Okay. Then part 10 is scheduled and tribal areas. Here, every part of the structure is defined. I mean, union, state, panchayats, up to lowest level. Tribal areas also, cooperative societies also defined there. Then it comes to, from 11, it is relations between union and states. Okay. Then finance, property, contracts and suits, trade, commerce, intercourse, services under union and states, tribunals, elections. Okay. Special provisions. So these are little bit confusing. So over the period, once you see this, till 10, it is standard. 10, I mean up to even 12, it is standard. You can expect, okay, all these things are in order. Most of the questions will come from this 10 parts or 12 parts only. It will not go beyond. Only few questions, 1 or 2 questions, sometimes they ask from emergency and those things. Okay. Official language, they ask questions sometimes. Okay. But most of the questions are from the first 12 parts only. So this is a structure. I'll share this page also so that it will be easy for you to memorize. You can take a printout, you can carry them, go through it multiple times in these 10 days so that you can remember those things. Next time, you can straight away, okay, when they were asking about president, straight away you can, okay, it is in the fifth part, 52 sections to 151 articles. Okay, 52 article to 151 articles. Anything related to union, like parliament, president, vice president, all those things, prime minister, everything, cabinet, everything will be there. Same thing state, 152 to 37. Then union territories. What is union territories? Everything will be there in the specific, what we say, articles and parts. So it will be easy for you to search in the examination. It will become faster. You can do it instead of wasting time to locate where exactly it is there. It will be easy. Just go through that one because you know very well which part of it is. Just look into the BEAR Act. I show you the BEAR Act as I told. But here it is BEAR Act is here, right? So whenever there is any question, so you can answer at least out of 35 to 40 questions will be the BEAR Act. Out of the 40 questions, 20 questions you can act. I mean, I'm talking about all subjects. You can answer from the index itself. So if any question is asked, just you can look here. What is which article is equality before law? What article 14 says? So they will give 4 or 5 options. Just go to the index, take article 14, equality before law, you just tick that one. You need not go open the BEAR Act, go to article 14, read it, no need. From the index itself, you can ask some, answer certain questions. Okay. Directive principles of state policy, from which article to which article? So these are the things you can answer from index itself. So here, election of vice president, which article mentions about election of vice president? Okay, generally they ask about the president. So you can say 66. What is the term of office of vice president? So just go to, now here if the term of office of vice president you are not sure, just go to that article, open that article 66, from see in the index where is term of office of vice president, because you know where is union mentioned. In the union, president comes, next is vice president. So go to the vice president. It will take another 20-25 seconds more. Just go to that page. You will see what is the term of office of the vice president. How is vice president elected? All those things you will you can identify from the BEAR Act. So you go to index, then you can go to BEAR Acts. Okay. So here that's all for the today. You can so you are having any questions, you can ask. I'm